Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NBNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock. It's okay. We'll wait an extra 2 seconds. Go Big Red indeed. No block, no rock. Episode 227 coming at you from the NBNR studio in Omaha, Nebraska. Fellas, Nebraska Brewing Company, if you didn't know, is one of our main sponsors. Cardinal Pale Ale. Now, I don't know about you guys. I'm looking around. I'm wearing sandals today. My dogs are barking.
I can hear them.
Woo!
They won't shut up.
So I look in the fridge and I'm like, squeeze the day? Maybe?
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
Squeeze a Day is a fantastic beer.
I don't like the way you just said
What?
it, though. It's coming.
Well,
I don't like that. I don't like
you
that.
You weren't here last week.
Oh, shit.
Between
Go on.
No, I listened.
with I don't know what's going on here.
What, Mike?
Hold on, we're having
Oh,
some
shit.
issues. Hold on. Are we good? Why is this not switching?
Mike's on the switches today. He's doing great.
I'm
Well,
doing
it's fine.
something. The camera is not switching.
You're doing great, sweetheart. Is this still on me?
It's still on you. Yeah. The switcher isn't switching though.
Shit.
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
There we
Okay.
go.
Anyways, you weren't here last week, but Jared his laptop was doing some things.
Yeah,
so
it was moving up and down.
So the way that he's talking right now is not anything different.
My laptop was doing the old up, down, up, down, up, down. And Chris Basnet was like, bruh, what kind of podcast is this?
I mean,
Like, you know damn well. What
that
kind of-
was a fun ass episode.
It was.
If you haven't listened to that one, make sure you guys go check it out because that was a good time.
dropped one clip from it. And I mean, that was tough because it was so much I cut out and like, there's so many more that it's like, fuck.
It's good.
It's hard to cut down into like, you know,
consumable
pieces.
content.
Yeah, consumable. There you go. That's the word.
Yes.
But anyway, Cardinal Pale Ale. Connor, what you got?
I am also drinking the Cardinal Pale Ale, but I also, on top of this can, if you guys watch the show every week, we are sponsored by Draft Top. We have an affiliate link that you'll see in the episode description. You'll see it on our social media. You can go buy one. They're really cheap, and they open your can like a glass. So you can drink straight out of there. It's fully open on the top, and it's super simple. All you got to do is grab your clip and twist it.
Twist.
The old clip twist.
Twist.
It's a niche reference. Hopefully somebody out there gets that.
Nobody gets it.
Yeah.
Twist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's
And
clean. I can hear it.
It comes loose just like that.
No mess.
The lid sticks right in there. And now I wish I could show you on the camera, but I would unfortunately spill my beer to do it. This is a totally smooth seam inside here, and I can drink this beer even faster, which is unfortunate for me, but very fortunate for the dumb shit I'm about to say.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yes, Draft Top. Look at this sweet top. Mine's American flag. It's really cool. If you want to support the pod, if you like drinking beer, I highly recommend using this little affiliate link I just put on the screen here. All you got to do is type in the https://draft top, whatever. Put in that code at the end. And
Just look at the bottom of the screen there and type that in.
yeah.
No, you can find, we've posted it, I don't know how many times on our social media, episode descriptions, whatever. But yeah, if you buy one of these, you can drink just like us, and a portion of your proceeds actually goes to supporting the show.
Yeah. So
Keeping us in this nice studio.
We need support.
yes.
Emotional,
So, EOS Hefeweizen.
financial.
That is the best beer at Nebraska Brewing Company. And KB is not here today. So I am on the P's and Q's and running all the buttons. And,
P's and Q's and ones and twos.
Yep. Trying my best. So,
I haven't seen KB in like 2 weeks.
yeah. Well, you guys are like not in sync right now because
No.
Kyle's bye. And then you were bye. And
Yeah, it feels
No.
weird.
now
So
Connor's back, straight back. Oh, sorry.
Connor's
Yeah.
back.
Best,
I
best ability.
Availability, baby.
Yeah.
Bye.
We did have to give Kyle some shit today because we miss him.
That's why.
We miss you, Kyle.
That's why.
Yeah.
Connor, help me out. Nebraska Brewing Company, world class.
In every glass.
Indeed, it is. NFL draft time. Connor, I'm gonna steal your joke, unless you want to say it yourself, but you don't know what joke I'm referring to.
Yeah, you steal it. I had a lot of them.
Yeah, there's so many to pick from.
Yeah.
That just hit. We're gonna talk about Shedeur Slide, but just like him, he's gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
He's gonna wait a little bit. Okay. Ty Robinson to the Eagles.
Shout out.
Hey.
Honest, a phenomenal fit.
Oh, first try.
I'm excited that he's going to get to be there with Cam Jurgens. I think that'll be great.
Two big men, two stalwarts on the line. If you will.
Beautiful men.
Beautiful. So yeah, like the main takeaway, without getting into X's and O's, and they play this kind of defense and blah, 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 shit that we don't even really know anything about. First impression is you're going to an organization that knows what they're doing. How many times do we see talented players get drafted to a franchise that is in disarray? Head coach don't know what's going on.
I thought we said
GM
we were waiting on Shedeur.
Shut up. This is just, I see him get drafted by the Eagles, and I'm like, thank Christ. At least he didn't get drafted by, let's just say, the Browns or the Giants.
Poverty.
Just stability, having a set identity and a competent organization. Thank God.
Another thing that I'll say about the Eagles, and I have very few compliments for them. Their fans they're Eagles fans. But I think the culture inside that franchise is really good. And I think the best example of that is Jason Kelce taking Cam Jurgens under his wing and allowing Cam Jurgens to get 4 years, $68 million. That doesn't happen without this culture inside that locker room.
Right.
To say, like, look, I know you're a rookie, but we're gonna help you not only as a coaching staff, but as your teammates to develop the right way. So I'm insanely happy that Ty got to go to a franchise like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's already poised to win and poised to help develop.
Not to mention, they just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So getting to come from a losing culture like Nebraska to go to a winning culture is going to be quite a fresh breath of air.
He's going to go,
Ty
what
Robinson.
the fuck is going on here?
What are we doing? Oh, they actually win here. I think it is a perfect fit for him. One, he does have Cam Jurgens there, so that's one of his good buds. And
yeah.
But I think culture-wise, I think it's going to be good for him. They're known for developing. So Ty has already got all the athletic gifts to be. I think he could have been a second-round talent type guy.
Sure.
I think it's a steal to get him in the fourth round. So
I think he might have been like one of the biggest steals in the draft.
Yeah, I agree. And it's all about fit. Jared talked about that a little bit, but it's about fit. Like if Ty ends up with the Poverty Panthers or something, we're not having this conversation. Like he's ending up with a functional organization that is known for developing talent, and they've got a bunch of young studs on that defensive line. Where if Ty can get rotated in with those guys, I think it makes the Eagles even better, who just won a Super Bowl.
You imagine Ty and plugging holes.
Jalen Carter.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, ooh, hey, we might be onto something here, even though they already won the Super Bowl.
If you'd watched the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, he didn't like that defensive line very much because they had him running for his life. So
scared.
Join the club, Ty Robinson.
Yeah. Do you guys, this is a dumb question. I know the answer already. Do you guys have TikTok? You guys use TikTok?
Have TikTok. Don't use it personally.
I don't use it. I just use it for the podcast.
Okay. Well, then maybe you haven't seen this, and maybe it's my algorithm because obviously a lot of the content that I like on TikTok has developed my algorithm is Husker stuff. And the second Ty got drafted, I haven't gone more than 2 hours without seeing Ty Robinson highlight tapes. And I swear to God, it always starts off with him just smoking Shedeur Sanders. And it's beautiful. It's nice to see. Not because I am out here specifically to shit on Shedeur, but it's nice to see Ty Robinson get the credit for what an incredible athlete he is. Like guys, D linemen and O linemen don't get the sexy highlight tapes like your skill players do. Running backs, wide receivers, quarterbacks, it's very easy to make those tapes. But to see a guy like Ty get those, it's very nice.
Yeah, not only was he, disruptive on the field, and yeah, it was more sweet that he had that highlight against Shedeur of all people, very nice. But then he tests very well. And you almost think if you're like a opposing, like if you're a Cowboys fan and you see that Ty drops to the Eagles, and it's like, fuck, dude. Seriously? It's just one of those things where what's that saying? To the victor goes the spoils.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, the Eagles, man, how did Ty drop to these fucks?
I think more appropriately, it's the rich get richer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what happened with the Eagles here.
Anything else about Ty singing his praises?
No, I don't think
No,
so. Shout out to Ty Robinson.
Congratulations.
Well deserved.
Shout out to Thomas Fidone going to the Giants. Just reflecting back, it's like you wonder what if. We've talked about this many times. What if he had stayed healthy? What if he had a competent OC calling plays? Makes you think. But now he's going to the Giants. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. Is that a great situation? People are saying it is a great situation for him.
I believe this is actually a really great fit for him.
Or maybe we're just saying that because that's what we hope. I don't know.
I will tell you, I am incredibly happy for him, and I wish him nothing but success.
Of course.
I was a little surprised to see him get drafted. Not because I don't believe he's talented or that he is incapable of doing the job. I thought that the injuries might have pushed GMs away a little bit. And maybe that's why he went in the sixth. Yeah.
Sixth.
Yeah.
Sixth. Maybe that's why he went to the sixth instead of going like the fourth or fifth.
Yeah, I think that's probably more where it's at. I think physically and athletically, Thomas is one of the most athletic tight ends in this draft class.
He tested incredibly.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't have those injuries in the past, I think, yeah, you're talking about a guy that could have been an early round pick. Well, he probably would have had more production too, though, if he didn't get hurt.
Exactly.
And nobody's going to deny, like Mike, you're referring to his athleticism. He can run in a straight line just about anybody. That's not in doubt, but it's the lateral movement and can he block at the NFL level? These are kind of things that people have questions about.
So just before the episode, we were talking about the draft at a high level across a lot of different teams, and I had brought up the Colts specifically had not had a tight end go above 500 yards in 8 years. Because those tight ends had primarily been blocking guys. So with the Giants, I do see that being Fidone's role. I don't see him being a high-end yardage tight end, but I think if that's what they're going to use him for, I think it's a phenomenal pick, and I think it's a great fit.
Yeah, I think quarterback situation's interesting, but we'll see.
Interesting.
Teams that take guys in the 6th round, I don't think they're expecting them to be superstars. So
exactly,
it's an opportunity. And just from what we know about Thomas Fidone, the guy works his ass off and he's competitive as hell. So
he's the fucking Terminator.
Yeah, he just needs a chance. And I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was on the radio, I heard this, but the GM of the Giants said in an interview the reason that he took, this is on NFL Network actually, the reason that he took Thomas Fidone was because at the NFL Combine, Matt Rule swung by and they said, oh, hey, what do you know about some of these Nebraska guys, whatever? He says, let me tell you about Thomas Fidone. So you want to talk about why Thomas Fidone got drafted by the Giants? You can thank head coach Matt Rule.
Yeah. Well, again, we've talked for hours and hours and hours on this show about Matt Rule. The one thing that he is the best at is he is an advocate for his players.
There you go.
And he means it. I don't think Matt Rule has advocated for a single guy where he didn't mean what he was saying. So I think NFL GMs take that to heart when he comes to the plate and says, you want to talk about Matt? Like, we knew, I think we all expected Ty to get drafted.
Yes.
I think we all expected that.
For sure.
And when Matt Rule's first words are, let me talk to you about Thomas Fidone, those guys take notice.
I'm just, because I think this ties in
Ties.
with what we're going to talk about next. But you hear about Rule being an advocate for Shedeur.
He did.
It makes you think, like, did you mean that, or were you trying to smooth over some rough edges from the past? That's probably where I lean.
I don't know.
I don't
think Matt Rule is a Shedeur fan. I don't think he's a Shedeur fan.
No, here's the thing, right? Like, I think we probably agree with that. I just shit. We love Matt Rule here.
Yeah.
I also think sometimes he says things. Like, I'm not calling him a bullshitter necessarily, but I think he tickled. You know what I mean?
Well,
do you know where I'm getting?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like,
I think he sometimes says things that me.
Yeah, and just to, like you said, smooth out some edges.
Yeah, because it was the whole controversy with the prayer on the field and Shedeur making shit up, and it's like I just feel like that was Matt Rule's way of being above the fray, and really showing, maybe even showing Dion, like, hey, I said good things about your kid publicly. Okay, now shut the fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kind of
Get your name out my mouth. Get your name out your mouth.
It seems clear that we're about to transition into the Shedeur piece here.
We might as well.
But so I think the best way that I can relay this is, and in no way am I comparing the two players. For the longest time, a division rival for my favorite team was Tom Brady. And I hated him, but I respected his talent. In no way is Shedeur Sanders comparable to Tom Brady. I actually was begging to not have Shedeur drafted at 199. He's like, Jesus Christ, we do not need to set that narrative. But Shedeur Sanders is not a horrible quarterback. I believe where he was drafted was indicative of not only his talent, but mostly because of the attitude. And Mike, you gave me a word earlier, baggage.
Yes, he had baggage.
He certainly does.
That Louis was really heavy.
Yeah. So when you factor, the talent, the character, and the baggage, this valuation made more sense. You can make the argument that he should have gone higher, and
he probably should.
But I think when you couple all of those things, it's hard to justify saying that he realistically should have been a first or a second round pick. I think it's really hard to justify.
I think when you look at this quarterback draft, there was one guy that was like surefire first round.
Cam Ward.
Okay. Even then, I think even there are question marks around him.
Yes.
Okay.
Big fact.
So this was a QB draft where it was so volatile. You had guys who had high opinions of Shedeur, top 5 pick. Other guys that were like 5th round pick. Like you had some guys actually saying that before the draft even started. And I just think Shedeur's skill set. Can you name for me one thing that he does that is elite? I'll give you time. I'll give comment.
I can tell you what he's good at.
Sure. Go for it.
He is accurate as hell. He's a very accurate quarterback.
Look at his play style.
Okay, now
he's very accurate.
Look at his play style. That'll tell you why he's accurate.
I get it. It's short dinks and dunks, but that's
he
the
literally
NFL. That's literally the NFL. Is short dinks and dunks. Drew Brees is the face of short dinks and dunks. Made an entire career on it.
Right.
Tom Brady,
short dinks and dunks.
Yeah.
So, yes, Shedeur, very accurate. But that's his pro. That's the pro.
That's the pro. So pocket presence,
non-existent.
lacking.
Yeah,
Bad.
lacking is a nice way.
Size, 6'2". I'm taller than him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bad.
Did you get drafted?
No.
Sorry.
No. Well, never mind. Damn, I was gonna say something really bad.
Yeah, don't do that.
Mobility.
Below average.
below average, right? I
Yes.
mean, nothing to write home about, certainly, right?
I would say that mobility, well, I would agree, is below average.
Yeah.
I would say barely below average.
I mean,
Like,
or you
it's
could just
not-
say average, but he's not
I wouldn't give him
Lamar.
average.
He's not
Yeah.
he's not Jaden Daniels. He's not a guy that is going to get you, I guess, a plus in the running category. He's not going
Right.
to take off. He doesn't run.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything about his game to where, like, you would like build around him? Like, I just feel,
I don't like.
What about his leadership? Huh.
geez, that's we'll get into that, I'm sure. But here's where I come down, and Connor and I, we are simpatico on this. We will go out of our way, and some people might think it's a bad thing or a detriment, where we will try to read between the lines on things and try to find examples of mistreatment. In this case, some people are crying racism. Okay. Listen, I'm the first guy to look for things like this. Okay. But here's where I'm at. NFL owners would draft Adolf if they thought Adolf could get them a ring. Okay. They will draft anybody. They will draft people who sexually assault other people. They will draft murderers if they have to.
Ray Lewis killed a guy.
Hey, go Ravens.
Like,
There's nothing about Shedeur's game to where an NFL owner looks at him and goes, you know what? You're just not good enough, first of all. And second, there's too much going on with you.
It's the
You're
extra.
you're not even taking this process seriously yourself. And then you add on the fact that your dad is saying, I'm not going to let him get drafted to these certain cities. And Shedeur's not allowed to be interviewed by certain GMs or teams. He doesn't have a combine. His pro day is a joke. He's treating kind of everything as la-di-da-di. We likes to party. And I think NFL owners are looking at him and going, you are not talented enough to be pulling this hijinks.
Right.
Like, there's other quarterbacks in this draft that are comparable to you. Like, there's nothing about Shedeur that's just like, oh, bruh, like, you are undeniably better than Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
Like, and I will take Tyler Shuck if it means there's no circus.
yeah. And
Because it's a gamble. I think taking Shedeur or taking Tyler Shuck or taking Dylan Gabriel, taking anybody in this class besides Cam Ward, which even Cam Ward, it's kind of a gamble. You're rolling the dice. This class is not that good.
Cam Ward is less of a gamble, but it still is one. And so where you look at the Browns QB room right now, they've got 5 QBs in that room. I put out a tweet in order, Deshaun Watson, ass. Kenny Pickett, ass. Joe Flacco, ass, but I love him.
Go Ravens.
Dylan Gabriel, slightly less than ass. And then Shedeur, ass. I mean, in that list, this is as of this moment today, Shedeur Sanders is in the 5th slot in a horrible QB room. Like this, I don't know how you can reconcile. I don't like any of the race comments about it. I think it really is about he's not as talented as you think he is. He's certainly better than I am. I'm not sitting here saying I could do what he can. He's not as talented as you think he is. And his character just leaves lots of question. One of the biggest developments, and we see, before the draft every year, there's always, the big leak on Wednesday night, right before the draft. We saw it with Laramie Tunsil and the gas mask bomb.
That was sick.
Yeah. Arguably made him cooler.
Yeah, and guess what? He got paid.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Guess what? Guess what?
He's very, very good at his job.
He still got drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they don't care. They don't care about your character flaws and things like that.
Yeah. But so my thing, what I thought was really funny was you guys, I would assume, saw the Shedeur leak. And this is what people are blaming for a big slide in his draft stock, was that none of his teammates came to his birthday party, which I think gets even funnier when you realize that one of his teammates is his brother.
Stop.
Yeah.
See, okay.
I don't know if that's real.
I don't know if it's real.
I don't think
all
that's
I know
real.
is that was widely circulated. I'm not here to, put my stamp of truth on this.
Right.
I'm saying that was a massive circulation.
That's not why he slid in the draft.
No, but
not why.
I want to attribute it to it. I think it'd be funny.
It's not.
Listen, and like that's the tricky thing about this is because you have these rumors or stories that go out how he's going to interviews and he's got his headphones on listening to music. I think that turned out to be fake. But here's the thing. I kind of believed it. Like it's kind of an issue where like it's kind of plausible that it would happen. Cause like I've seen you play and you're showing off your watch to the student section. Yeah. Like
pushing
I can see it.
The Colorado State thing. Like pushing the quarterback after the game. The Matt Rule thing. Calling out our coach. Like like making shit up.
The ball boy thing.
What are we doing? Like come on now.
And I think it's the fact that any one of these stories is plausible and believable. I think that's the biggest concern.
But
whether true or not,
right?
It's believable.
Now here's the thing, though. You do all that shit, okay? Do all of it. Show the watch off. Shove the ball boy. Call Matt Rule, whatever. Are you good enough to do that?
No.
I personally just don't think he is. Mike, we'll get into this. Playing against the Big 12 kind of changes things a little bit.
Like good. Not good. I'm just like he hasn't played anybody. I talked a little bit before the episode, but like the Shedeur Sanders situation right now will be the first time that Shedeur will ever face any sort of like
real competition,
adversity, etc. He's been coached by his dad his entire life. His dad affected where he got drafted. I'm not denying that Shedeur Sanders might be the most talented quarterback in that room, but he also could be the worst quarterback in that room if he doesn't push himself because he's been handed everything his entire life. That the Big 12, not good. They're not. He's never played anybody. He played at the FCS level or whatever you want to call that, the HBCU.
Yeah.
Pretty much FCS. And then he played in the Big 12. Has a almost 500 record. And he went 9-3 this last year in a wide open Big 12 that was not that good.
Yeah, and some people will argue him going 9-3 at Colorado is like if you played at Nebraska and you won double-digit games and you went to the playoff, like that's the equivalent.
And it's not.
But go on, Connor. Sorry.
Actually, so two parts to this, and I'm going to address Mike first, and then I'm going to come to what you just said. One, I would disagree with the fact that, Mike, you said that Shedeur has been handed everything. I would disagree with that. I think Shedeur did earn, his spot. Where was he? Was it Jacksonville State?
Jackson
State. Sorry. Jackson State. He absolutely earned a slot. He had success there. And I think he earned a slot at Colorado. His dad was the coach at both of those schools, but I think he did earn that. This is the next part I want to talk about where I heard comparisons to both Nebraska saying, 9-3 at Colorado is equal to their double-digit wins at Nebraska. I also heard a comparison to Texas A&M. Wrong. The Big 12 is a dog shit conference. Get it through your skulls. It sucks.
Did you see draft day?
Yeah.
How many of the guys from the Big 12 got drafted, guys?
Yeah.
Just tons and tons of them. Compare them to the Big 10 and the SEC. It's not even close.
I cannot stress this enough, that the Big 10 and the SEC are the big boys, and they're the big boys for a reason. We have better talent. We have better teams. We have better games.
Better coaches.
That is just it. So saying like 9-3 equates to double-digit wins at Nebraska, wrong. It equates like 9-3 at Colorado is like 7 wins here. That's not how this works.
Okay,
the Big 10 is a better conference. It's a harder schedule. You got to be better to win 9 games.
We beat the brakes off that Colorado team. Just saying. The Heisman Trophy winner, beat him. Shedeur, beat him.
Made them look pedestrian and average.
They just weren't that good.
Yeah.
They weren't. We out-physicaled them the entire game. It was 28-0. We won 28-10.
Yeah.
We kicked their ass.
And so just going on with continuing down this Shedeur and the NFL thing.
28-14, by the way.
Whatever.
Yeah, 14. No, 10.
10.
I thought they got 14.
No.
10.
Okay. I'm colorblind.
And stupid.
Yes.
No, you're not. But just continuing down this Shedeur and the NFL thing. How many viewers?
81.
Okay. It's fine. Named all those things about how I personally just don't think he's good enough to be having these antics or baggage, as you guys called them. You look at that room in Cleveland, It's like he could very well be QB1.
Yeah.
Very well could be QB4.
Yes.
Because,
Maybe 5.
Because Deshaun, even Deshaun might beat him out. But it's like GMs, like individually might be racist. Okay. Let's just be whatever.
Jerry Jones exists.
Oh, listen, Jerry Jones was in Little Rock in 1960 going,
Yeah.
make no mistake. You're not allowed in. Make no mistake that he was there. But
Allegedly. I think we should use that.
no, I'm pretty sure it came out.
No, there was a picture.
No shit. Are you kidding me?
It came out like a year or two ago.
Hey,
I don't follow the Cowboys. The Cowboys are irrelevant.
Dude, that was like national media. But it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Go on.
no, I mean, listen, he is. He's that word. Okay. But again, GMs just don't, unless you're like otherworldly talented or obviously talented than your peers in that particular draft, they're not going to want to deal with the other stuff. They're not going to want to deal with daddy, even though I don't even think Dion would really do anything. I really don't. Yeah, I just don't think the other thing too is I think we need to be clear is a lot of times GMs are way off with their QB picks and their analysis.
Yeah.
Okay. The GMs in this draft may very well be totally wrong, and I could be totally wrong, but you're asking why he slipped, and I think we gave you some good reasons.
Frozen Runza just put in the chat. He said the report came out that owners told GMs to take Shedeur completely off their draft boards.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
There was a report that came out that owners told the GMs to take Shedeur completely off their draft board.
And I'm curious to know because there are a lot of teams in this draft that didn't need QBs.
Right?
So,
why? Why would you waste a pick on him if you don't need a quarterback?
Right. I want to give a big shout out. Sorry, not to interrupt you, but to your point, Damon Benning this morning made a great comment about talking about, 32 teams. He's like, when you're looking at teams that need quarterbacks, there's more like 7 or 8.
Sure.
So there's 24 teams that just like didn't care about this situation.
Didn't care that he didn't interview with anybody. Didn't care that he didn't throw out the combine. Didn't care that, certain cities are off limits. There are a lot of teams that just didn't care.
Well, not to mention, like, you think of teams, you said there's like 7 teams that might need a quarterback, 7 or 8 teams, right? A lot of these teams, they knew what the draft class looked like, and they went and made moves in the offseason to make sure that they figured that out, or they're doing that. Like the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers is probably going to go there, right? But the teams prepared for that because they weren't impressed with the draft class that was available, or where they were drafting at in the draft. So they pivoted. It wasn't good. The draft class wasn't good.
It just wasn't.
They were, in my opinion, and you guys might disagree with me, they were only nice. Did you get a notification?
I did. Hold on. That went through. Huh? Nice.
There were only 2 QBs to me that really mattered. Cam Ward, obviously.
Sure.
But then Jackson Dart.
Sure.
At Ole Miss.
And you know why he flew up the draft boards? Because he combined well.
Yeah.
That's why.
If you weren't getting one of those 2 guys, this was not a draft that was stacked with QBs.
Well, and again,
and next year will be. So a lot of these guys are just hanging out.
and whether you like it or not, those guys, they played the game, they danced the dance, okay? They treated it like their lives depended on it because
you should.
Because it does.
It's a job interview.
Go on.
Do you walk into a job interview and you're like,
Tell them.
hey, if you don't think I'm going to change this company, don't hire me. Like, who the hell is going to hire you?
Yeah.
Come on. It's
Like,
self-sabotage.
Again, like, unless you are clearly better, fine. Don't dance the dance. Don't do all that stuff. But you're not better. You're not that much better than the rest of the people. So you have to do as much as you can to impress people, because that's, whether you like it or not, that's part of it. Like you said, it's like a job interview. And if we talk about all these things with Shedeur, it's like you're making it personal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh. You're drafting a human being, and being a human being is part of being, you got to have discipline. Like, you got to be rock solid discipline. You got to be a fucking excellent teammate, especially if you're a quarterback.
There's one of you.
Of all positions, this is the one quarterback where you need to be pretty fucking rock solid and dependable.
So we, prior to the episode, discussed a lot of comparisons with Shedeur, where a lot of people had talked about, and they were comparing off the field antics, which I feel like for Shedeur, we're actually like off the field antics were pretty minimal.
Yeah, dude,
If
you
anything.
didn't hear anything about off the field shit with him.
No, it was on the field.
Yeah.
But comparisons to Manziel and
just a bad comp.
Yeah,
It's not good.
Manziel just produced on the field. So like that's a bad comp. Baker Mayfield, bad comp.
Heisman winning trophy quarterbacks. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I thought those were dumb. But we also, as we talk about baggage, talking about daddy,
Louis.
there were, people talking about, what about the Mannings? What about the Elways? Again, I think horrible comparisons. Like Eli and Elway's situations were interesting, but those were guys that were top of the line, and could kind of designate what was going to happen.
Not to
because
mention
of
they
who
walked the
were.
walk. They walked the walk.
Exactly. They had that talent. And so I don't think it's weird for GMs or franchises to look at Shedeur trying to walk this walk and saying, brother, you're still learning to crawl. And saying that this is not how this is going to work for you. If you were on the level of like an Eli Manning or a John Elway, yeah, sure. Like there are guys that can do that. You're simply not one of them.
Well, and we got another comment in the chat from Frozen Rosa. He said, when Quinn Ewers goes in the 7th, you have to be objective of how the NFL was looking at the quarterback position this year. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of teams looked at the quarterbacks coming out of this class and they're like, they ain't it. They're not good. Like Quinn Ewers.
Dude, I'm sorry.
He's not.
Like, even Cam Ward, man. Like,
question mark.
Like, you hear talk about comparing Cam with Shedeur, right? Cam doesn't have any chains on. And listen, Cam Ward is a turnover machine. I think he's going to turn the ball over a lot. And give him time. Give him time. I'm not saying throw him out after year one when he throws 20 plus interceptions or anything, or fumbles and all that. But even Cam Ward, the surefire QB, is a turnover machine.
Didn't play in the Power 2 either. Like, so that's another thing
Correct.
with Cam Ward. He played in the Pac-12, which was dog shit. He was in JUCO or whatever before that, D2, JUCO, whatever, from Pac-12, then to the ACC, which was also not good. He's never played in a power conference, and he walked out on his team against Iowa State. I didn't love Cam Ward either in this draft. I didn't. Maybe he'll be really good.
I think a reason that Cam Ward retained his draft stock was, I don't know if you guys have watched the video of the workout he did with Shedeur.
That was interesting.
Yeah. And every time, like Shedeur asked him to release a rap song, this is not a dog on Shedeur.
Perfect timing.
Cam Ward said, I don't want to do a song. I play football.
Yeah, he's a football player. I don't even know he's a football player.
And he's like, you don't have any hobbies outside of that? And he said, I want people, when they look up Cam Ward, to see that I'm a football player. And I think that kind of commitment and that kind of mindset is what kept his draft stock. And again, that's a big part of it.
And look, and yes, that sounds corny. And there are corny GMs out there. Make no mistake, guys. Like, this is not like excusing GM. Like, I hate rich people, and GMs are rich and they're cheap and they're bastards. Okay. But like, Shedeur's not good enough to have all the other stuff going on with him. I think that's just the bottom line. And the GMs could be very wrong. Okay. They've been wrong before. They've been wrong many, many times with drafts and with analysis. But bottom line, I just don't think Shedeur has anything about his game that is like, whoa.
Yeah. I just think
it is what it is.
He's like Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel is Shedeur Sanders without the baggage. And that's why he got picked ahead of him. Because they're probably on an even playing field as far as talent goes.
Exactly.
But Dylan doesn't have the baggage. So they're like, yeah, we're going to take him. And then guess what? He was still there and we're like, fuck it. Let's just do it again.
Like, if we draft this guy, if we draft Tyler Shuck and he's QB2 right off the bat, right? He doesn't win the job. I'm not really worried about him going to his dad, Chad, Chad Shuck and going, with Shedeur, that might happen. And then it turns into a thing. Maybe. And it's like, if I'm a GM, I don't even want to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an old, crusty, rich fuck, and I don't want to deal with your drama. Okay? Just win me games.
Imagine being the head coach, though.
That's it.
Imagine being the head coach.
Sure.
And Shedeur, you draft Shedeur, right? And you don't play well, and Shedeur isn't playing. Imagine who's coming to that door. Who's calling you constantly. Daddy's calling.
Probably.
Like, nobody wants to deal with that. Or Deion always said that he wanted to coach his son in the NFL. I'm just saying. Deion's coming for your job. That's another thing, too. It's just another thing. There's too much baggage. That's it.
And he's not good enough to overcome the baggage.
Yes.
In my opinion.
I know we're spending a lot of time on Shedeur.
Yeah, we'll probably put a bow on it after this.
Yeah, but when looking at this draft, I was surprised. I mean, not totally, that they took Dylan Gabriel, the Browns. I was surprised when they took Shedeur, specifically because that was their 5th QB in that room.
That's a lot of quarterbacks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Go Brownies, man.
But so, like, I deep dive, and I have one friend that is a Browns fan, and Trevor, I'm so sorry for you. But I asked him, and I said, how are you feeling? And his only response was, I got to assume what that front office is feeling. It's like, fuck it. One of them's got to work, right?
Right.
One of them's got to work.
I mean,
Fuck it.
Okay, let's stay on NFL draft topic, but we'll shift a little Husker again. Do you guys think there were any, and
Come on.
people that are watching, we got 90 people in here.
Come on, say it.
Do we
Come on.
think there were any Husker draft snubs?
Nash.
Let me just say this. You say Nash. I am glad that he was a free agent
Because the Ravens took him.
because the Ravens got him.
Yeah.
Not
good for you.
only is that nice for me, it's also nice for Nash. Now look, is he going to get as much money?
No.
No. But you play for an organization that is competent and they know who they are. And I think that goes a long way. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see him running out of that tunnel in Baltimore wearing that black and purple, baby. Good for him.
What numbers? Number
Not
zero?
Not
No.
That's Roquan.
That's Roquan.
But I'm happy for him. I saw that and I go, again, with the whole tie thing, you're in a good situation. Good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's their identity is defense. Boom.
Were you guys surprised, apathetic,
No.
or did it confirm your suspicions that Tommy Hill was not?
No, I didn't expect him to get drafted.
I didn't think it was just odd that, like, looking back a year ago,
I know.
First round pick.
we were talking about, like, I was thinking 2nd round pick at that time. which
Shedeur pick 6,
Yeah.
it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be something we talked
Best
about.
ability.
Mm.
Just with the season.
Yeah. Best ability availability, man. He got hurt.
Yeah. With the injury, I wasn't totally shocked that he
Well, you know,
didn't go.
You see guys get drafted that missed a lot of their season this past year. Like I remember, I'm not going to name names because I don't know them, but you'd see a safety or a corner get drafted, and there was like 3 different times where I saw missed 2024 season due to a torn ass or whatever. It's like, oh,
Torn ass. Here's my snub.
Fasciitis, you
Here's
know?
my snub. Ben Scott. I
Snub.
think Ben Scott will be the prototypical Husker lineman that just gritties it out and will be in the NFL for 5 to 8 years. I think he's that type of guy. I think he can play multiple positions. I think he's gritty. And I think, I think he's going to fit that build as one of those Huskers that didn't get drafted, but they just hung around for a long time, got another contract.
oh, there he is. He's starting for
Nick Gates, right? Like,
yeah.
like a Nick Gates kept guy. That's what I
Oh,
think. Ben Scott.
Farniok. Oh,
Yes.
okay. You're starting. Sure.
Sure.
Why not?
Right. You're the starting center, right? No, I think Ben Scott is like my snub of the draft.
It's weird that I feel like I've been agreeing with Mike a lot recently.
I know.
What's wrong?
I'm so smart.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel. Is Mike right?
But
Or
so-
is
are we
Mike
both
wrong?
wrong?
I don't know.
But it's the same thing I talked about Cam Ward's statement earlier. Is like, I just play football. I think Ben Scott is another one of those guys that, like, head down, all he wants to do is play football.
Yeah.
And I think that's a phenomenal attitude, and I think teams see that. So I think, that will be a guy that's sneaky sneaky for like, I was going to say 5 to 7 years, 5 to 8, same damn thing. But yeah, I think, I don't know that I would call him a snub, but I think he will have a career.
Yeah, Frozen Runza agrees. He said Ben Scott, but I think the right amount of Huskers got drafted is what he said.
2.
Yeah, I think it's about right. I mean, we were a 6-6 team, guys. Like we were. I know we finished.
Hey!
7-6.
I know it's 7-6. I'm just saying we finished 6-6.
Mhm.
If you win more games, more guys get drafted. Just saying.
Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah. Nair to the Niners.
That's it. I mean, I could see that being an okay fit. That's another organization that does a lot with a lot of less, I guess. I mean, I don't trust the quarterback situation, but that's just me.
Well,
I'm biased.
I mean, it's good for him if he like really gets worked into the system, because that is a franchise that beats they run them like horses.
Kyle Shanahan's a freaking genius. So
yeah, I mean, Kyle Shanahan is a phenomenal coach. But I mean, they run the receivers into the ground. Like, they're gonna work. So if he can work his way into that system and like actually get on the field in meaningful time, I think Nair works there. He's speedier than hell.
He's big body. He just can't block worth the shit.
Yeah. So I think that's it. It fits the Niners system.
Yeah. Good fit.
Sure.
John Bullock, he went to the Panthers, Poverty Panthers.
Yeah.
Gross.
Gifford went somewhere.
No, Guilford went to the Poverty Panthers.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it was. Bullock went to the Bucks. No,
Damn it, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Sorry, I retweeted all these, and I don't remember them.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
not really. You know what does matter, Mike?
What matters?
What are we calling it? Are we calling it the Husker Carnival?
Oh yeah, let's talk about the Husker
What?
games.
You know what, Mike? No. Here we go. I'm gonna ask Mike because he went. Mike
I went.
wins.
I did go.
Yeah.
What did you learn? Did you learn anything? And don't hit me with no bullshit. Oh, corn dogs are good. Whatever. Like, did you learn anything? Because I did learn something very substantial, very important. But I want to hear. And I didn't go though. But
Okay.
Mike went.
All right, let me give you an easy one. Here's a little clickbait for you. All right,
Shit.
Dylan is a dog,
Okay.
and I'm gonna
Okay.
elaborate on that.
Please do.
They did these quarterback throwing competitions, right? What I learned from that is that all of our quarterbacks' arms are not that good. All the way to QB2.
Let's
Not
go.
that good.
Let's go.
Wait, so all
But
the way
you
to
did-
QB2, you say?
All the way to QB2.
Okay.
But what I learned about is Dylan is a freaking dog because he made every single throw, and I see why he was rated as a 5-star.
Indeed.
This is that elite arm talent that Mitch was talking about. This, I am telling you right now, he made every throw look so easy. And when he made that one in the hoop, he played the wind perfectly. Like, the guy knows how to throw in the stadium. He made it look easy. And then he hit the crossbar too. Like, he excelled at every single one of those games.
Sure.
I'm telling you, he would do better than half the quarterbacks in the NFL doing those same things.
Facts.
Like, he is that talented. And Dylan Raiola is a dog. That's what I got from the Husker games. I had a good time though.
Okay. So the basketball hoop thing specifically.
That was sick.
Yeah. Very cool.
Very cool.
I saw
Very
the clips of it.
cool.
I will tell you, you guys don't use TikTok personally. I do.
You do.
Again, with your TikTok, what's
Yeah. No,
obsessed?
I use social media. But I will tell you that for over a month now, not only do I follow Dylan Raiola, Heinrich Harburg, Harper Murray, what have you.
Oh yeah. So you see all
we
that.
saw that video too. They made it into the hoop and shit.
Yeah, this is not new. I think this was one of those things that as they train for, we'll call it the carnival. They knew what the tests were, and there was training to do that. I will
They
say,
should practice.
yeah, I will say, training, like you can put your little asterisk on it.
Yeah.
Still fucking did it.
Dude, I
He
train
still
at
did
golf
it.
all the time. I'm fucking terrible.
I know. I've seen you golf.
He literally he nailed the shot when he had to in front of the entire, like in front of a crowd, in front of the camera.
The entire,
The entire 5,000 people there. Like,
Yeah.
it-
Okay. So
it
that was
wa- the crowd was small.
that was my next
Sure.
question was, I saw pictures of what appeared to be a very empty stadium.
It was very empty.
Now, okay.
The garage sale was the coolest part.
Okay.
And unfortunately, my wife and I got there a little late.
Right.
Like we had to, deal with kids and stuff and getting babysitters and all that stuff to go
the
down,
worst.
right?
Sure.
We get there. I mean, they were giving away shoes. Like we pull in the parking lot and there are people rolling down the sidewalk with 6 to 10 boxes of shoes each. I'm like, what is going on? I walk in this garage sale. I mean, they're selling tennis shoes for $25, brand new shirts for $10. All the helmets were gone. All the memorabilia was gone. Like everything was picked over. They're selling chairs, like with ends on it and shit. It was cool. That was a hit. I think the university will capitalize on that. I think they will do more of that because the fans, they ate it up. Because what do we say about our fans? Like they're like little piggies.
They're rabid.
Yeah, they ate up the slop. They did.
Again, you say that the university is going to capitalize on this. We've talked about this for weeks now. They do this every year. It was different this year. That's for sure. There were changes.
There was a lot more. They gave up it was like years worth of equipment though. I'm talking like old helmets, like shit that we haven't seen in 10 years. Like there was some old stuff. You could like custom build your own helmet. Like they had the different colored face masks. You could make your own helmet for like, I don't know, it was 150 or 250 for a helmet. Like they made it cool and the fans, they bought it up.
Actually, because I did look through the prices to build your own helmet, it was about $125 or $150 depending on what you put on it. It was actually wildly cheap.
Yeah, everything was cheap as shit.
Yeah.
And the only thing I didn't like about it, okay, so you're at this Adidas garage sale, right? And it's all Adidas stuff. And then they let in like the local Husker shops. They came in there too, and they're selling their shit at like full price. Like,
yeah.
who the fuck? I don't want to buy that shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it wasn't Husker. It was the best of Big Red. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I came here to go buy the actual Husker stuff, not your freaking Walmart brand Husker shirt. I don't want that.
So
that's a con.
Do you guys want to participate in a conspiracy, Connor? Part of this we've talked about. One of them that, again, like this garage sale, as we call it, was larger and a bit different than what we had seen in previous years. We had talked about, is this a way to get out of Adidas? So my question to you guys to participate in this conspiracy is this a way to get out of Adidas or a way to totally revamp the Nebraska brand? Because Nebraska has gotten a lot more eyes, especially recently. And I think Dylan Ryle is a big part of that. But nationally, a lot of attention. So is there a way that this is like us unloading all this old shit to revamp the brand and get a new look from Adidas?
No. Hell no.
Adidas is our ball and chain.
We are stuck.
We are stuck with these motherfuckers.
But my second part of the question is, are we offloading all this old shit, getting it out of the warehouse so we can revamp the brand? So we can get some new looks. You think they're going to
continue? Do you not recall our conversation about how bad Adidas is, where they just copy and paste for each team? Adidas does the designs.
We saw the basketball jerseys.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw the basketball jerseys.
Hold on, Mike. You're saying that the revamps suck.
They suck.
But that's not Connor's question. Connor's question is, just because the revamps suck doesn't mean that they don't do them. They still do them.
Yeah. Is this
right?
a possibility?
They suck. No, don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. Their revamps are ass.
They're terrible.
But they still do them.
They do.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that could be the reason for this massive offload.
The answer to your question is no.
You don't believe. So
no.
We're going to stay the same. But
yeah.
My question is,
we're Nebraska, bruh.
We
don't change.
With this massive offloading of gear, why now? Why there is a reason.
They had to, reason. I think, drive more revenue for NIL. So there's one.
That's
an easy one.
That's fair.
And I think just to get rid of old crap.
Yeah.
They get it all for free from Adidas. It's part of their giant contract they get with Adidas. Like they're offloading stuff that was like it's junk for them.
So it's not free to the university. The contract is the university partners with Adidas, and we still pay for the gear. Like the university's paying for that gear. They don't get it for free. Like that's simply not how that works.
I don't know how it works.
I truly think, Connor, you're overthinking this. No, I think they just want to get rid of shit and they want to make a little bit of money.
That could be the case.
That's all.
That certainly can be.
Like, no offense, like, who wants this Ben Eisenhart jersey? Here you go, sicko.
Here you go.
How many?
Like 100.
Wait, how many? How many?
100.
That was a good one.
No, okay. I think this is just, I don't know. We're at like an hour almost.
Yeah, we're almost done.
I asked Mike what he learned. And the thing that I learned, it is simpatico, as they say. It is simpatico with what Mike said. If Dylan ever goes down, we are fucked.
Yeah.
Dylan, we need you.
Did you see the first 2 drives in that scrimmage?
Yes.
True freshman,
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah.
Transfer quarterback, pick.
Our O-line better
Maybe
fucking do. And they're supposed to be better this year. They're supposed to be better.
Yeah.
And they did okay last year.
They were fine. You better keep him clean.
If Dylan,
Let me lie to myself. Really quick.
and I'm sorry, that room.
You don't like granddad?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an asshole. This is the type of room where if QB1 goes down and he's out for a considerable amount of time, Matt Rule's job is in jeopardy. Hate to say it. Dylan, need you. Listen, I'm sorry. Like, this is the type of room you're going to go 6-6 if you're lucky. Is that good enough? In year
3.
Hold on.
There's your built-in excuse is that Dylan's injured. Fine, but
Wait, so
it is what it is.
You're saying if Dylan's hurt, 6-6 if you're lucky.
Yes.
Okay.
Assuming how much time does he miss and all that shit.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
I'm going to lie to myself briefly, and I want to be clear. I don't believe myself. I'm just going to say, the secondary is really good, and
which of those 30 guys
looks
do you
even
like?
better? But something, and I don't know if you guys got to touch on this last Monday. I didn't get to listen to the whole episode. I was working on some stuff.
Fucker.
But the 105 rule may not be in effect. Did you guys see any of that?
Yeah.
It's
I don't
in the
know.
air.
Nobody knows anything.
It's in the air.
Yeah.
I'm just
I think
gonna
the
assume-
NCAA has to present a clear plan, like how they didn't give the teams enough time.
Yeah.
So that would be helpful. I don't know how helpful, but I would still rather have more than 105 players.
I would agree.
Yeah. We need those walk-ons.
Yeah.
We need them as punching bags. Beat on those guys in the practice squad.
We need those on the scout team to give us a good look for the next opponent. Meh, meh. Let's see. Wing eating contest was fun.
That was I will say, as someone who does at work, I do a wing podcast. But thankfully during the wing podcast, they fast forward while we're eating the wings. We're watching this on the Jumbotron at Memorial Stadium, watching people just
In live time.
there is not a clean way to eat a chicken wing, especially a speed eating game. So, I mean, it was kind of gross to watch.
You know what?
Some of these dudes were.
You know what's funny? I don't know if it's funny, but a movie that I just rewatched recently. Have you guys seen the movie Seven?
No.
Not in a very long time.
One of the, and I'm not going to explain the whole plot, but it's this guy that commits murders based on the 7 deadly sins. And the
What's
first
in the
one,
box?
what's on the box? The first murder he commits is gluttony. And I see some of those guys with the fucking sauce all over the face. And I'm like, you'd be in the movie 7 for gluttony. You'd be the first victim. And John Doe would have murdered your ass and said, he ate this amount of wings until his stomach burst. He's pathetic. Everybody's looking at him like he's a piggy. He deserves to die.
Wow.
Jeez.
That took a turn.
Well,
I would.
hey, listen, win me games. You can
turn.
eat 30 wings. You can throw the ball into a basketball hoop. Cool.
Can you throw the ball on 3rd down in the win
Against
in November
Iowa?
against Iowa?
Yeah.
With that Iowa defensive tackle, I forget his name, bearing down on your ass. Can you do it? Because you're not throwing into a basketball hoop during a game.
Pretty accurate though.
But yeah, very, very accurate. But the thing is too, they're not gonna. I don't think they'll do this again though with the spring thing.
I think they will.
I
Now,
think they will.
See, but here's where maybe you guys disagree, but I think with fans expecting like this similar kind of thing, if they do a similar thing for next year where it's like a variety of stuff, I think now that fans kind of know what to expect and they saw how much of a kind of waste of time it was, I think there'll be even less people than this year. Because this year you still had kind of the element of surprise. You don't know what the hell is going on.
Right.
And I think for next year, I think people will be like, yeah, remember last year?
I think it's going to be the same.
Yeah, the garage sale.
Yeah.
But they're not going to have a garage sale of that scope.
No, probably not.
So it's like, why am I going?
Well, I think the magnitude though, like Sam McEwen made a good point about what they should do with this. Leave the Husker games, do the Pro Bowl style thing. He talked about this day on the radio. And do like a incoming freshman scrimmage. So the fans get to see the transfers, the young kids all play or whatever. I think that would be fine. But I don't know. I think that the people that were in the stands, they're all sickos. So they're going to come regardless. The people that were there are the freaking sickos and that live it and breathe it, or it was family. A lot of family. I had Dominic Raiola and Dylan's mom. They were walking right behind me.
Yeah.
They sat right next to me. We had what's his name? Simmons. That old guy.
Shit. Simmons.
Lost me.
Sorry. Fudge.
I don't remember. He was sitting right behind me too. There was a bunch of families, recruits, etc. there. Oh, here's one more topic before we wrap up. I did see Mekhi Bayer there.
Yeah, I saw
that was interesting.
I saw the pictures on Twitter.
Yeah.
I saw it from you.
Yeah.
Hang out with my buddies.
So
why?
that was a large portion of the responses that I saw responding to your picture. I don't know. People saying like he was there recruiting for North Carolina.
He was not doing that.
I think that's
He was not doing
wrong.
that.
That's not the case.
That would be kind of funny, like Connor Stallion style, just kind of just doing some intel and
on
the sidelines.
I would tell you that the current format for the Cornhusker Carnival is probably here to stay. You saw a massive drop off from the red-white game to what we now know this to be. I would tell you that I believe it's here to stay. I think the era of an actual spring game is just over.
Right.
We were not the only major program to move away from that format, and especially after last year, we had 2 key injuries in the spring game?
2 key knee injuries.
Yeah.
Yep.
So not only do you look at it in the NIL era perspective of, I don't want other teams seeing what I've got over here and trying to recruit them right now. But you also, it's an injury reduction thing. So I don't see it ever going back to what it was. I think this was a decision that was not taken lightly by the administration.
Sure.
But I think this is what you've got.
And like, you could ask the question, do they even need to do spring shit ever again? And like, here's where I'm at. I'm like, one of the advantages here at Nebraska, you've over the course of this many years, you have lost a lot of advantages that you used to have. One of the few that you have still is money, NIL, fan engagement. You have to find a way to channel that. And so I still think you need to do something. I don't know what. I'm not getting paid by the university or Matt Rule to figure this shit out. And I appreciate the amount of variety that they came up with and that list of stuff. Like, I appreciate all that stuff. But you have to do something where you can take advantage of one of the few advantages that you have. So I don't know. Figure it out, man. Like if I go to a spring event in Mizzou, like I'm sure they don't make any money at all. But like if you have an event here, you have to find something to engage us sickos, us piggies, because we're gonna give up our money.
Yep.
And that's one of the few advantages that you still have in this college football world that is just that has moved past you. And they ain't looking back.
Nope.
So you better catch up. You got to do something to catch up.
Well, Frozen runs a set in here. Dandon said there is some smoke to other teams coming to Lincoln.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool. Like that'd be sweet if they brought in like a Carney to go play like our freshman squad or something. Like that'd be fun. Like I think that would draw a really big crowd.
I agree. And I would love that. Like, I want to go on record saying that would be fucking amazing. That'd be great. But it would also fly in the face of trying to protect players in terms of not just injury, but scouting and all that stuff.
I also think that if you're like, especially if Dannon's talking about other teams, I highly doubt it would be a team like Kearney. You're probably looking at like some mid-major program.
I want it to be K-State.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
K-State's a bit higher than what they're probably shooting for.
Sure, but I'm just saying I would love that.
But I don't think it would be like a Kearney. I think it would be a larger fan base, a larger team, because frankly, I would bet after this year, from the pictures I saw, and I don't know if it like reflected what the entire crowd was like in that stadium, but the crowd sucked.
Yeah.
And so they're probably looking at like a revenue generation type of team. And I don't think a Kearney would do that. I think you've got to look a little bit larger than a team like that.
Kleiman's boys.
I mean, honestly,
I don't know.
Like that.
I don't know. Listen, if they do it, you can't play Kearney.
No, I just don't think a Kearney would attract that many people.
I mean, the relationship's already there with like Ryan Held, though. It'd be pretty easy.
Like,
think about it. Think about it this way, though. You've got like you bring Kearney in, right? You're going to bring in all the people that root for Kearney, right? But then you also get like grown ass men that play for Kearney that are 4-year starters and stuff, playing against like true freshmen at a Power 5. I think it'd be a good game. Guys that have never played a snap in football are going up against grown men at a lower level. I think it would be fun to watch.
But I think in that situation, if you put a 4-year guy against a true freshman for Nebraska, your upside is low and your embarrassment factor can be very high, which I think is another thing that they would probably be considering.
Maybe they Frozen Runza said Callahan talked today about Kansas State, and Iowa State.
There we go. I mean, we named 2 of them.
Well, like you could ask NDSU, but then NDSU would be like, we'd beat you in a regular game. So
did we not have this discussion a couple of days ago?
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, K-State.
Yeah.
But then like, would Kansas State want to come to Memorial and like where would they play?
Right. But like, how would that work with
like you're going to go to Arrowhead or something?
Yeah. Like a spring thing.
Do you do a home and away spring game? You get 2 spring games, one in Lincoln.
Stupid. It's stupid.
It would just be logistically weird.
Yeah.
But if you could find a way, fucking do it.
Because you can't do a neutral site. Neutral site's going to kill the revenue anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then what's the point?
Yeah. You got to make money, and you got to get teams that would be okay with coming here, and we just pay them a lump sum, and we take everything else. Like that's. I mean, it has to be like that, and it has to be a team like Kansas or somebody who they don't care about football. They don't care. They'll do a spring game elsewhere, and who would play in it? They obviously portal windows have to change. Would your starters play? Would it be like a preseason game kind of where like your starters play like the first drive?
Preseason.
Well, so
just like the NFL. Yeah. Here's what I assume. Everything that the NFL is doing, college teams will start doing. So NFL preseason, eventually it's going to go down that route. I don't know how much longer, but I think it'll happen eventually.
I think my thought, and this is off the top of the dome here, is first quarter. Obviously, we're going green jerseys. First quarter is first stringers. Let them play that first quarter. Do whatever rules. Like I know, red white game had adjusted rules last year, but do that, and then the next 3 quarters, you can put in whoever you want, but most likely you're pulling your first stringers out.
Yeah.
Gives you a chance to work through some guys, get some guys some reps that might not normally get them.
I don't want Dylan to ever play a snap in a preseason spring game thing. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him get touched by anybody. I mean, I'd assume green jerseys, right? Like,
I said that. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's green jerseys.
I don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
I don't want him to slip and fall. Get hurt.
Like he did on Saturday. Did you see that?
Fuck.
He's playing with the flag football chicks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, ACL. But he got up. It's fine.
Also,
and then did you see how many times he overthrew some of those chicks?
I also saw
that was, you want to talk about the most miserable thing to watch? I walked in and Midland was up like 54-0. And right in front of me was like, must have been the family of one of the girls. And they're just going nuts. And I'm going nuts. I'm rooting against the Nebraska team. Like, fuck those girls.
Midland, baby.
Let's go, Midland. Like, they gave a shit. They showed up with jerseys. They were ready to play.
So are we Midland women's flag fans?
This is the first Midland women's flag football podcast, actually. So I'll be reaching out to their university to get some funding for that. But yeah, we're going to start covering the women's Midland. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be fun though.
I did see Dylan get sacked. That one.
What are you supposed to do?
Well, and so I read
he wasn't going to run.
I read through a lot of comments on the video that I saw. I'm like, wow, Dylan Raiola, D1 QB, gets sacked. I was like, he is not used to like turning his hips like in flag football. Like he's trying not to get tackled.
He also wasn't going to run. Like he's not going to go run through all these girls. Come on now. Like if I were him, I'd be running through them and trucking them.
Yeah. It was like this is not what you're correct that he's out there kind of as a novelty.
Yes. No, he was out there because they were literally getting their ass kicked 54-0, and they're like, "Fuck it."
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, the one chick, she had more yards thrown to the other team. Like their quarterback for Nebraska. Like,
could you imagine?
Matt Rule said this is going to be an Olympic sport.
Mike,
Nebraska should take this serious. If Matt Rule's the one that's going to bat for it,
Mike,
let's
not go on a flag football thing.
We're not. Let's just don't. Let's wrap up.
Could you fucking imagine? Oh my god!
Imagine what? Us being a Midland women's football podcast?
Hey,
Mike. No.
I'll tell you right now.
Can you fucking imagine? Dylan goes out there and it's 54-0, and he tears a knee.
Oh my god!
I'd be mad.
What is he doing out there? What's he doing?
Yeah,
I know it's fun. It's fun. I know. I'm the fun sucker. It doesn't mean anything, right? It's women's flag football. Doesn't mean anything.
Well, and
why is he out there? I know. I'm the fun sucker. I'm stupid.
No, my question is
I
don't want him doing that.
I see him fall down in a girls' flag football game that is 54-0. And I'm not gonna lie. I've seen so many football players that are infinitely more athletic than Dylan go down with shredding their knee on a non-contact thing. Are you kidding me? Could you imagine if that happened?
My question, you want to put in a celebrity quarterback? Not to brag, although I am. I'm a 2-time intramural flag football champion at the University of Nebraska.
You also lost to a girl in a race.
By a half step, and she ran track in college. That's not
the story. You are changing the story a little bit. You did say that she had a head start and all these other things.
No.
Now,
when she had the head start, we stopped the race. We restarted. Then she did beat me by a half step. She did run track in college.
Connor is now in the acceptance stage of grief.
That's good.
Before it was deny, and now it's.
I've always admitted every part of the story.
Oh,
normally, I prefer backdoor.
Did I even say normal?
I think so.
Yep.
Okay, man. But yeah, I 2-time intramural flag football champ at the University of Nebraska. Why is my phone not ringing? Don't put Dylan in there. I'll tear my ACL. No one's going to give a shit about that. I will, but no one else.
We'd prefer it.
Let me put it this way. Those Midland girls would have still rocked you as you a quarterback. Because it's not even you as a quarterback. It's the talent around you. And it wasn't very good. Just saying. Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got nothing else.
I got nothing else.
Okay.
No.
119 people in here. Make sure you guys go follow us, right?
Yep. Eat Up Our Slop, nbnrpodcast.com. We have Slop on Spotify. We have Slop on YouTube. We have Slop on TikTok Slop, and Twitter Slop. Definitely Facebook Slop.
Yeah.
If you're on Facebook, our Slop is with everybody else's Slop on there.
Dude, Twitter.
Ours is more believable than everybody else's Slop, though. Because all theirs is AI and Will Howard transferred to Nebraska, and you got 50 people putting hearts on it and going, congratulations.
It's so dumb.
It is unhinged what goes on that fucking site. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Connor Cavalack.
Mike Delaware.
As always, Dylan, stay healthy. Fuck, please. In GBR. God. And go Midland.